So we're gonna call the public hearing to order at 4:46 p.m. Pursuant to RSA 31:95-B, a notice public hearing was necessary to take public comment on accepting and expending unanticipated revenue from the New Hampshire Department of Safety Grants Management Bureau. With this grant, the town will receive $39,351 to purchase body cameras for the Woodstock Police Department. I will open the floor to public comment. No comment? Sounds good.
That 39,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's pretty close to
It's pretty
covering,
close.
yeah. And we have some money available also to help cover any
Fantastic.
incidental costs, so, yeah. Great. Being none, then we will close the public hearing on the body cameras at.
You don't have to wait
4:47.
15 minutes for that?
No.
No, we can. Because somebody might come in 5 minutes from now and go, oh, hey,
Yeah.
all right, we kind of have. You gotta still do that in planning,
What?
wait 15 minutes. for the
Yes.
beginning and from-
Yeah, we did ask the
God,
town attorney, right, the town attorney that, if that was necessary.
Well, can we run
He said
two
no.
meetings at once?
No, we have to close the
Oh, we have to
public hearing
close.
on one. Yeah.
Guys, nobody's here.
We are recording, so people can watch.
I was gonna say something else.
This stuff coming up is awful, it's gonna take a whole bunch of water. It's dry, this stuff.
Alright, we've been another minute here, so we'll close the public hearing on the body cameras at 4:48 p.m. Next, we'll open the public hearing.
You can't open the next one till 5
Oh,
at the start of your
Okay.
selectmen's meeting.
for the other two, okay. Alright, so we're gonna pause recording. Alright, so now, at this time, we will call the selectmen's, meeting. No,
We're going to call a public hearing.
oh, the next public
You're
hearing.
gonna call
Oh,
the first, yeah, the first of the,
right, I didn't realize that, okay, my apologies. We will now call the public hearing for the proposed Peeling Village Affordable Housing CDBG grant. Sure, we have guest Larry Bergman Head and Donna Lane here, who is the CDBG grant
Right.
writer. And so you have a script prepared for,
Yes, I have to read to you.
yes,
It's very strict. Community development block grant funds are available to municipalities, excuse me, through the New Hampshire Community Development Finance Authority. Up to $500,000 annually is available for economic development projects, up to $500,000 for housing projects, up to $500,000 for public facility projects, up to $500,000 in emergency funds, or $350,000 if you're under 10,000 population. Up to $25,000 per planning study grant. All projects must directly benefit a majority of low and moderate income persons. This is a proposed application to the Community Development Finance Authority for up to $500,000 in community development block grant funds. The town will retain up to $25,000 for administrative/labor compliance expenses. And that's just a little different than last time. They now have they've attached them to different budgets.
okay,
It was included before, but now it's just mentioned out a little differently. And the remainder will be subgranted to Affordable Housing, Education and Development, Inc. Ahead. Ahead will in turn loan the funds to Peeling Village at Gordon Pond Limited Partnership. The funds will be used for the construction of 29 units of primarily affordable multifamily housing at Lost River Road in Woodstock. This project conforms with Woodstock's housing and community development plans goal of encourage an adequate housing stock consisting primarily of single-family homes while allowing sufficient opportunities for duplexes, multifamily units, and other forms of housing to assure persons of all income levels and ages will be able to afford to live in town.
great, thank you. So at this time, we'll open the floor up for public comment.
So this is really just a renewal
renewal,
Renewal of what we did before.
yeah, yeah.
The first phase.
Yeah.
It's 29, yeah.
Being none, we'll close the public hearing on, this item. And next, we will open the public hearing for the residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan.
This plan outlines measures under the Uniform Relocation Act required for CDBG projects that involve any displacement or relocation of persons or businesses. If the town were to undertake a CDBG project which involved displacement or relocation, they would follow this plan. The plan outlines the measures they would take to find comparable suitable housing for persons or businesses displaced or relocated. This project does not anticipate displacement or relocation. It's new. So it's not gonna have that. It's project specific. We have to adopt that every time we ask for CDBG funds, whether it's relevant or not.
Makes sense, okay. Thank you. So at this time, we'll open the floor for any public comment on that. Okay. Being none, then we will close the floor or close the public hearing for that item. So at 5:03 PM. So now I'll call the select board meeting to order at
Yes.
5:04 PM. Okay, just a quick housekeeping thing. We have minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion to accept those minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept them as presented.
I think.
All right, I will second. All those in favor? Aye. And we have one abstain. All right. Next up, we received 2 responses to the RFP that was put out for the CDBG grant writer. We reviewed those in board pack. So based on the responses and the recommendation of the head, I make a motion to accept the proposal from Donna Lane for the Woodstock CDBG grant writing.
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And do I have a motion to sign the selection process form as well?
So I'll make a motion to sign the selection form. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye. There's 2 copies.
2, okay.
Oh, I think it just is your signature at this point, Sharon.
Okay.
On the bottom.
Okay.
I had to get all the other info.
All right, so then up next, we have to approve and sign the CDBG grant application. So I make a motion to approve the submittal of the CDBG application and vote to authorize myself, the chair, to sign and submit the CDBG application, and upon approval of the CDBG application, authorize the chair, myself, to execute any documents which may be necessary for the CDBG contract and any amendments thereto. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So. Well, wait, everybody. So you just follow it. I'm going to notarize after these 2 copies.
Oh, yeah. So then up next is need a vote to adopt the displacement and relocation certification.
I'll make that motion.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
A lot of paperwork here, gentlemen.
Laura, do you want to take your paperwork with you?
Or you can email, whatever suits you.
I have to notarize, I brought my date and stuff, it's up to you, I can notarize when you if you'd like. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
While she's working, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry I couldn't bring the new executive director down, Harrison Chancellor, to meet the rest of you. Just couldn't make it tonight, but we'll make a point to come down and pick up with you soon.
Excellent. That'd be great.
He came to Rotary a few weeks ago.
You stopped by the office,
Okay. He and I bumped into each other a few times through some of the work. We've done with whatnot,
so,
when he was in the valley. For a couple of you that came in, there was a clipboard going around. I'm not sure if you saw it to sign in this evening. Kind of help with our minute taker. Thank you very much.
that, and. Okay, Larry, I think for Donna, I'm not sure who, this is everything. That. There's some posting certification, the application, the residential agreement. And you want to just look through
Yeah.
everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it. So up next, make a motion to enter into the body camera grant with New Hampshire Department of Safety to. We're gonna sign the application and we're gonna authorize Selectman Rand to sign in the office on the board's behalf. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, so I'm gonna send 2 copies around if you can sign next to your.
Say
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
2 copies, originals, sign next to your names, please.
Make it really complicated.
And then you're gonna go, you follow each page, you initial.
Right, too.
No. You'll see that. See, you might have had another page.
Oh, yeah.
3 pages and all, from initial, to the initial 3 pages.
I think you only did 2.
That's right, just 3. Right there. Oop, almost done. Almost there. And then next up, we have to approve and sign the hazard mitigation grant from New Hampshire.
You should have a certificate.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, my apologies, I saw that all as one. So next up, we have a certificate of vote, of authorization for the body camera grant. You need me to read that, correct? Okay, so I, Cheryl Reardon, Chairman of the Select Board, Woodstock, New Hampshire, hereby certify that our Gil Rand, Selectmen, have the authority to sign and enter into a grant agreement with the State of New Hampshire Department of Safety Grants Management Bureau on May 16th, 2023. For the town of Woodstock, and further hereby authorize our Gil Rand to execute any and all contract agreements related to the body worn and just dashboard camera grant. I further attest that our Gil Rand was granted authority prior to the day that the grant agreement was signed, and it has not been amended or repealed as of the day of the contract was signed. A true copy of record.
I make that motion.
Second. I guess if I can.
All those in favor? Aye.
Uh,
I think just Chase now. Thank you.
Gil missed this one.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's what police have done, I guess.
Woodstock one with a capital W.
I'll lose on the library one.
Your second big picture, too? Sorry. No.
One, it's
No.
a lot of grants going on.
Right,
Okay.
you
I'm
do.
ready.
All right, so now up next, we have to approve and sign the hazard mitigation grant for New Hampshire. What is it? It's not New Hampshire DLS.
It is the Department of Safety, yes, Homeland Security.
Oh, Homeland Security, okay.
Yep.
So, sorry, I thought that was for Woodland. So, entertain a motion to accept the terms of the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities as presented in the amount of $7,500 for updating the local hazard mitigation plan. And we acknowledge that the total cost of this project will be $10,000, in which the town will be responsible for 25% of that as our match, which will be $2,500.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Okay.
Second,
Very good. We also need to, beyond accepting it, we need to sign the application and authorize Selectman Rand to sign in the office on the board's behalf. So
Make
that's
a
part of that
motion? The whole
motion. Yeah,
motion.
yeah, it's part of that motion. Do I have a second?
yeah. Yes.
Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
So every page here, which you start, so sign by your name, and every page we put on the bottom as well, we're not those.
Paperwork day.
Huh?
Heavy paperwork day.
It is a heavy paperwork.
All I can say is when you go, I go.
So fortunate though that these are available and we've been
Oh,
able
yeah.
to apply for them and,
We've got a lot of
We
great.
have a lot of grants.
yeah.
You and I gotta work on that other one.
Okay, so this
Same thing.
same thing, yeah. And Gil, I'm assuming you're gonna be the selectman representative to this committee again,
I have for 15 years, and
you know.
no reason why I shouldn't now.
I agree.
I agree.
There's a lot of,
Yeah.
there's a lot of meetings involved in this one,
Yeah,
strategic planning and all.
and it's just a rise and loss of it.
June Gardner will be, heading it up again, I believe.
Yeah. Well, her son was heavily involved in it too, probably.
This kind of start there.
Sure.
Here, I have an extra one.
Did I skip the first page? No problem.
So.
I'm good right now. And then we also need a certificate of vote on us. So we need that right now, right? Okay. So I, Cheryl Reardon, Chairman of the Select Board of Woodstock, New Hampshire, hereby certify that our Gil Rand, Selectmen, had the authority to sign and enter into an agreement with the state of New Hampshire Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management on May 16th, 2023, for the town of Woodstock, and further hereby authorize our Gil Rand to execute any and all contract agreements related to the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant, BRIC agreement. I further attest that our Gil Rand was granted authority prior to the date the grant agreement was signed and has not been amended or repealed as of the day the contract was signed. A true copy of the record.
Oh, more is better.
You guys are nice. Excellent, thank you. And just let me know when you're ready. All right. So moving on, we have some new members of the Conservation Committee here. We received an email from the current Conservation Committee, James Cheeseborough and Christian DeRosa. And they have recommended the following people to the Select Board for membership to the Woodstock Conservation Committee. We have Tracy Morgan, Roy Whitaker, Jason Cohen, Mark Sellingham, and Samantha Woodworth. Did you all have an opportunity to read the letters of interest?
We do.
Excellent.
I think it's great that people are
Yes.
interested finally.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pretty good,
Been a
Committee.
quiet committee for a
not,
little while.
not since Jim went around, but
Excellent. So,
I make a motion, we appoint all the names that were presented.
excellent. Do I have a second? I'll second that, because you're on the commission, right?
Yeah, but a non-voter.
You should
Okay,
second it.
I should second it, right? Yes. Okay, I'll second that. All
Yeah,
those in favor?
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah, all those in favor? Aye.
All
And
right.
then you could make, you could, I'm not sure, do I have Jason?
Yeah, we have
Cohen here?
Jason, Roy,
Roy,
and
and
Samantha.
Samantha.
Yep.
And you could,
So we'll do their oaths now, and then we'll make a motion to do the oaths for Tracy Morgan and Mark Sellingham at a later date in the office. Do I have a second?
Yeah,
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. So. First up,
that's would be, I mean, they could. What do you want to do?
it does, you just give me one and we'll,
That's what I have first.
all right, who do we got? Roy. Come on up, it's your lucky day. Stuff, right?
by my honor,
Yes, you ready?
do my duty to guide my country.
So actually, you're gonna do that.
I
first,
remember
okay?
that one.
But to Roy Whitaker of Woodstock, Woodtaker. Of Woodstock, New Hampshire in the county of Grafton, whereas there is a vacancy in the office of Conservation Commission in the said town, and whereas we, the subscribers, have confidence in your ability and integrity to perform the duties of the said office, we do hereby appoint you the said Roy Whitaker. Okay, I was right. So, a registered voter of the said town, and upon taking the oath of office and having this appointment and the certificate of the said oath of office recorded by the town clerk, you shall have the powers, perform the duties, and be subject to the liabilities of such office until another person shall be chosen and qualified in you. I know, right? This one we gotta conquer.
All right, you ready?
Yep,
I, Roy Whitaker,
I, Roy Whitaker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as Conservation Commission
as Conservation Commission
according to the best of my abilities
according to the best of my abilities
and agreeable to the rules and regulations
and agreeable to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution
of the
and
Constitution
the laws of the state of New Hampshire,
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome to the Conservation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so.
Samantha. So we got two, Samantha Woodworth of Woodstock, New Hampshire, in the county of Grafton. Whereas there is a vacancy in the office of the Conservation Commission in the said town, and whereas we, the subscribers, have confidence in your ability and integrity to perform the duties of the said office, we do hereby appoint you, the said Samantha Woodworth, a registered voter of the said town, and upon taking the oath of office and having this appointment and a certificate of the said oath of office recorded by the town clerk, you shall have the powers, perform the duties, and be subject to the liabilities of such office until another person shall be chosen and qualified in your stead.
I, Samantha Woodward. I, Samantha Woodward. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will faithfully and impartially. That I will faithfully and impartially. Discharge and perform. Discharge and perform. All the duties incumbent upon me. All the duties incumbent upon me. As Conservation Commission. As Conservation Commission. According to the best of my abilities. According to the best of my abilities. And agreeable to the rules and regulations. And agreeable to the rules and regulations. Of the Constitution. Of the Constitution. And the laws of the state of New Hampshire. And the laws of the state of New Hampshire. So help me God. So help me God.
Last but not least, here we go.
Let me just do this faster, right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Get what he said.
Yeah, I would. To Jason Cohen of Woodstock, New Hampshire, in the county of Grafton, whereas there is a vacancy in the office of Conservation Commission in the said town, and whereas we, the subscribers, have confidence in your ability and integrity to perform the duties of the said office, we do hereby appoint you, the said Jason Cohen, a registered voter of the said town, and upon taking the oath of office and having this appointment and the certificate of the said oath of office recorded by the town clerk, you shall have the powers, perform the duties, and be subject to the liabilities of such office until another person shall be chosen and qualified in your stead. Great. Excellent.
I, Jason Cohen.
I, Jason Bone,
Do solemnly swear.
solemnly swear
That I will faithfully and impartially.
that I will faithfully and impartially
Discharge and perform.
discharge and perform
All the duties incumbent on me.
all the duties incumbent on me
As Conservation Commission.
as Conservation Commission,
According to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my ability,
And agreeable to the rules and regulations.
and agreeable to the rules and regulations
Of the Constitution.
of the Constitution
And the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
God. I could almost have done that.
Again, we're very appreciative of folks stepping up,
Great.
and we're excited to see what you guys have to work on in the coming year, so. Next up, my dear, we have the tax collector.
Well, that's why she's crazy. She's a crazy-
Yes, I reviewed, the worksheet for tax. Yep, we're doing.
To start with number 106-039.
You don't have to go into it.
Not on these, you don't.
Not
No,
supposed to.
unless there's a
As
person.
we found out.
Yeah.
So I've had a few conversations. The deeding portion should be paid by the end of this week.
Okay,
Refinancing. And should pay off the rest by June.
excellent.
On number one.
On number one, do you want me to just go that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one, number two.
Yep.
Don't really have much to say on that one, not many conversations or.
This is the parcel that we,
Right.
yeah, it's landlocked.
Trying to get
We
the
are,
cars.
right, we have,
Yeah.
I've sent all the letters to the families, got them either back or not back signed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So now it's just a matter of finding time to meet with Laura and the White Mountain National Forest and see how we go about turning it over to them.
Great,
So that's kind of in my,
yeah,
I just have to find time to get there. Sorry, Cheryl.
The third one, has not made contact whatsoever. The certified letter was returned. Unopened, but the regular mail was picked up, so
Okay. We'll see.
they're aware and, I'm pretty sure they'll come in before
Yes.
the actual day happens, and take care of it. The fourth one, should be receiving full payment tomorrow.
Okay.
And then, it's going to be going for sale. There's a buyer. I'm just gonna assume it. And then the next one,
No, it's been on.
no comments.
There's people in the association trying to take it by adverse possession right now.
On the tour condo,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, we'll see where it goes. I don't know.
Okay.
So I have spoken a few times with the next person,
Okay.
has been paying small increments. Promised to come in before the end of this week with more, and then hopefully the deeding portion he will have paid off by before it goes to deed.
Okay.
And the last but not least, received the notices, received the certified, I called. And left messages. And then I emailed. And I got an email back today.
Okay.
And he said he would make sure that it's paid by the 24th, which is the day before deeding, so
Okay.
hopefully he will.
How many do we start with?
Oh,
Initially,
gosh,
Oh, gosh, we started with,
It was almost a full page.
it was a full page.
yeah,
I don't remember.
it was at
So
least
it's three, down to
at least three
little over
times.
a handful. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're down to 7 and 6 short with,
Mhm.
not bad.
So we're in a pretty good, and two of them really are just logistically there, and
Yeah.
it's just not.
Great.
So. We're not meeting before the 25th, so what. I would like to do is go by property and you guys can item, or we can do a workshop on the 25th, whatever you so choose.
No, because basically, there's a few of them on here that we would say, there's two of them, 1, 2, 3 of them that we would deed. The others are association properties, so we would not. 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So number one, we could have a motion to deed the property if not paid by May 25th.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Yep. Or agreements, right?
Or,
Or,
well, this one has had, you have a guest in the way.
Mhm.
This one has had payment agreements, the choice is yours, but this one has had payment agreements and has not kept them.
okay,
Okay.
Anyone?
Number 2. I would suggest signing the deed waiver just because there's no place for it to go until. If it's not paid by 5/25.
Right.
not going anywhere anyway.
So we did need a motion for number 2 to sign a deed waiver.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On property number 3. What is your pleasure? What's your motion to either deed? Well, it says you shall.
Yeah,
So,
Deed if it's not paid by the 25th.
okay,
I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
number 4. Would be probably a motion to sign a deed waiver if not paid by 5/25
Right, because it's an association.
and see what we can work out.
Yep.
With
So do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. The next one would be the waiver,
Yeah,
that's what we figure that one out. So I'll make that motion, do I have a second?
Yes.
All those in favor? Aye.
Same.
Same with the next one,
Number
make a
six.
motion for deed waiver. The next, actually, the next two.
Yeah,
A
6 and
motion,
7.
Yep, 6 and 7, motion to, for deed waiver. Do I have a second?
Why in the last one?
It's association.
Okay.
And you'll sign those deed waivers in the office on the 25th?
Yep.
Okay,
Great. I made that motion, I need a second on that last one for 6 and 7, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. Excellent. Do you either of you have any other business? Yes, great job, Sean. Great job whittling that down. Making, it's hard to chase contacts all the time and get responses, so it takes a lot of work.
And people really don't want to hear from the benchmark.
Judy's a big help.
Thank you both. Very probably. All right, do we have any public participation on the items that were on this evening's agenda? Yes, sir.
Hi.
Hi.
Following up on the deed process.
Yep.
So the people that redeemed yesterday, that was recorded yesterday, those 8 properties. They go back to 2017 and 2018. They pay those. Does that? Are they current on all others? Do they still?
you'd have to submit a right to know request and let us look at it. We don't know that off the top of our head.
Okay, let me ask it. Okay, that's fine. If I come in and I'm delinquent for back to 2017. And I would like to make a payment. Do you assign it to the most delinquent year?
If
Or-
it's not specified. If they specify a year that they wanted assigned to, it has to be applied to that year. If they do not, we assign it to the oldest one.
You would assign it to the oldest.
Mhm.
So the fact that these 8 were from 2017 and 2018 does not necessarily mean that those are single years and those folks are up to date.
Right.
Anything else? Being none.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait a minute. We got hand us back.
Okay, Jim, how are you going to deal with Mark or Gracie? Are you?
We'll work it out. Either we'll come to your next meeting or they can contact me
Okay.
and then we'll work
I've
something
asked
out in
them
the
to contact
office.
you, but I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
She'd come to the office, would you?
They can come to the, well, I need.
Tell the office and she can call me, I'll come down and read the first half, she can read the second
Yeah,
half.
you
One
know,
of us.
We'll get it done
we'll
too.
work it out.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
What I usually do.
All right. Being none, thank you all for coming out this evening. I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 5:35 p.m.
Motion made.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On this, I've got the.
Your sign-in pen suffered a terrible.
June doesn't get the good ones, I mean.